Yes, dear student, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you who have attended this session. And so, requesting each and everyone to make sure that everyone has joined the session with a laptop or a desktop. So, make sure that everyone has, as we have already informed you related to the concepts that we are going to teach you how the concept of basics of Python, and along with that we'll be having a placement corner session for you all. So without wasting much time, because already it's 11 and we need to cover up a lot more things. So first of all, beginning with the concepts, let me just tell you about the concepts that we are going to clear, as well as what are the things that we are going to teach, and what are the particular uh, what we can say is the concepts, as well as how we have turned down the so many students, and we have taught so many students with along with our workshops, as well as with our concepts and along with our principles. So this workshop, this I have created it in the form of a course where the we will be having the sessions for 4 Saturdays, and the overall concepts will be covered from basic to the advanced level. So this is a course for the Python programming, and along with that we'll be also having a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you for attending this session from Innovatum. So covering up, as you all have gathered over here for the session of Python programming along with the placement sessions over here. So every week, Innovatum conducts free workshops for the students, for the benefit of the students, where we'll be bringing down the different kind of technologies. Like we are already going to have one more session from tomorrow, that is for the UI UX, that is also for free. So likewise, on the every weekends we will be having the free sessions for the students, so that they can take the benefit of the knowledge that we have taken down in so many years. So Innovatum is forcing this down to have the sessions for free itself for the students, from there where they can take the benefit and they can be getting placed easily. Now, coming down to the talking about this course, we have separated 4 Saturdays. This 13th of this month, then we'll be again moving down for the 20th, then 27th, and the 4th of the July. So here, the overall things we are covering up. Let me just give a brief note about what are the overall things that we are going to complete in this particular course, and along with that, what will be the beneficial things you are going to get. The first thing is, this course will be of 4 Saturdays. Every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. we'll be having a session for it, and the same link will be used everywhere, so you can join it anywhere you want. Next is the beneficial thing that we are going to cover up in this course is, we are starting the Python course from basics. That will be only for the Saturdays. We will be taking the session from the scratch, even if you have a prior knowledge of coding or not, or if you have conducted any sort of internship, or if you have conducted any, or you have attended any sort of particular courses from the YouTube, from Udemy, from Coursera. So even though we have brought this thing up to the students that it will be from scratch, even though if you have missed out some things from the industrial level of understanding of the Python programming, we'll be covering up over here. And once the Python session is being done, every Saturday we'll be having last 10 to 15 minutes, we'll be having a placement session. every Saturday. Okay, so this is the combination of two things. One, we are going to cover up the technical aspects, and the second one, we'll be also going to cover up the placement sessions in this. So this is about the things. And most of the students had messaged me, so whether we are going to get a certification for this. Yes, definitely you're going to get a certification. For after completion of the 4 Saturdays, you'll be getting a certificate from our end, where you can take the advantage of this certification and you can add it into your resume. So now, without wasting much time, because I think that most of the students have joined. So let us begin the session. So coming down with the installation, first of all, let us try to understand what is Python and what are the important aspects and the major reason why we have chosen the Python programming itself, where we do have a lot more other programming languages in this IT industry. So we'll talk about all these things, but before moving to that, let me show a glance. I know each one of you have might have already been working on Python or have been already working on this, but my condition will be here to show you from scratch. Some students might know this, or some might be not knowing this, because some of the students have already been joining it from the fresher background or different branch background. So we'll be covering it up for even them also. So now let's begin the session, where we'll first of all try to understand the concept, as well as we'll try to install the two major tools that we'll be using in this overall course. The first thing is, I want to install the Python programming. So I'll just type in Google download Python, or you can just say Python download for Windows. If you're using it for Mac OS or any other different platform, you can just directly go for using that one. So one condition over here is the latest technologies, okay, the latest technologies or the latest libraries which have been using in Python, like the TensorFlow, the Keras, the OpenCV, most of them. Now, I don't know what was the issue with the latest version of Python 3.14.6. It is not supporting it. The TensorFlow, the Keras, and code has been most of the OpenCV code has been deprecated. I don't know what was the reason that they have done it for, but let us just move it down. So I basically prefer that if you want to work on the machine learning framework like TensorFlow, then if you want the full access of it, then you must go for downloading the Python version of 3.12.5. This might be working for you all, and I have been using this since a lot more time, and I see that there is no issue of TensorFlow, OpenCV, and other libraries. So it is safe and it is stable to use Python 3.12.5. So I request, if you're watching this course, then go for installing Python 3.12.5. And there is a lot more issues that I see in the students' laptop, that they already have installed Anaconda in it. They have already installed PyCharm in it. They have already installed some different level of different version of Python in it. So this brings down a different kind of confusion while working with the Python programming. So what I request is, first of all, go for uninstalling each and everything. If you don't know the process, you can just go through this one, control panel. You can just search for control panel and go for programs and features, and just click down. If you do have any if you have Anaconda, if you have PyCharm, or if you have a different version of Python too, you can just double click on it. Your Python will be uninstalled. So make sure you start freshly. And once you do it, make sure you give a restart to your system. Then go for downloading this Python 3.12.5 version, so that when you install it, there will be no version collision in your system. So once we do this, like, we need to type Python 3.12.5 download for Windows if you're using it for Mac, or if you're using Unix, Fedora, or any other operating systems, you can just write it down. So particularly I'm using for Windows, I'll just hit it download and just click on the first link that we get, that here we have it for Python 3.12.5. So make sure that if you're downloading it, drag it a bit down and check out that we have different types of download available, okay, for different operating systems as well as. So you can just choose any one of them, but for Windows you can just choose this one, Windows installer 64-bit, and please check out if your system is supporting 32-bit, then go for installing this file. So I'm going to go with Windows installer and just hit install. That's it. So here it is. Once it get installed, we need to do certain amount of settings. Once it get installed, you need to just click on this, just say run. Okay, I think I have already installed it, so it is showing me an option for modification. So if I want, I can directly go for modifying it, but anyhow I have installed it correctly, so I won't do any sort of modification. So one thing what will happen in your laptop once you install Python here is, uh, you might get a screen where there will be option for install now over here, and one more option below over here at this point where my cursor is pointing down, add python.exe to path. So make sure you check that option. Make sure you check that option and then go for clicking install now option. So this is just, I have just shown you verbally so that you can just understand it. Now, once you have installed Python, once you finish the setup, everything is done, then there are different ways, because I don't want to install it from here. There are different ways to check out whether Python has been correctly installed in your system or not. To check that out, to make sure that Python is installed correctly, open control panel, sorry, not control panel. You can just use command prompt and check out over here and just simply type Python itself. When you type Python, then the version of the Python is being displayed, that is 3.12.5, which I'm already been using in my system since a long time. So if this is displayed on your system, it means that Python is installed correctly in your system. Okay, now just check this out with this print option. If there is some issues, or something, Sharika Fatima has asked me a question saying that, sir, my system has Python 3.13.9. Okay, Sharika, here I just want to convey that Python 3.12.5 is stable. Stable means it supports every library in PyPy versions. Okay, and if you're using Python 3.9, I have already tested with this version. It doesn't support TensorFlow. So I request you to switch back to Python 12.5. Okay, so now next thing that you need to check out here is just type a hello and hit an enter. And if this executes correctly, it means that the Python has been installed exactly how we wanted. Now, there are other ways also to check out. Just simply go to the search and just search for Python. So you might be seeing two things over here. you'll be getting the Python file directly, which you have downloaded. And second thing is the idle. So idle is nothing but a editor. Editor here means something like where you are going to type the code, like simply how you're going to use Notepad, WordPad, Word and all. Simply you are going to type the code over here. So if you open the idle over here, it is actually a shell where we can test the code after writing it. So here it is. I have just given hello, and this is how hello is working correctly in our system. It means Python is now installed correctly. And if you still get any issue at this point, make sure you might have forgot to restart your system. Make sure you restart the system. Then this was all about how the Python is going to be installed. The second thing, the second tool that we are, which is most famous and most widely used nowadays, that is VS Code. We need to download VS Code. Just type VS Code or type download VS Code. Anything is possible. You can just click on the first link, that is code.visual studio. And if you're using it for Windows, just hit enter or click on the link. It will download VS Code for us. Okay, I'll just pause it because I have already installed it. So the thing that you have to do is, once you get installed this VS Code, just click on the setup file, that is your exe file or MSI file. Just click on it and run the Windows, that is with the next option, and finally you will be working with the VS Code. Okay, so the requirement that the two tools that we are going to use in our session is Python programming tool, and the second one is VS Code. Okay, so these two things should be downloaded in your system to make the next upcoming sessions to be working. So as I have said you that this session we are going to start it from scratch, and everything whatever we are going to teach here will be from scratch. Try to take some real-time examples and all. Once we are done with this, in the last 15 to 20 minutes, we'll be talking about the placement session and some providing you some assignment what till next Saturday you all have to do. Okay, now let's begin with the setup. There are different ways. If you just watch out YouTube, if you just watch out any different Udemy course for Python and all, everyone shows with a different way. Some shows it with the Anaconda, some shows it with PyCharm, but I prefer to choose it in a more simpler way because I don't want to waste much time on the different kinds of tools in downloading and all. So I just want to start it as quick as possible. So here it is. Let me just go for creating a folder in which we'll be working. So here it is. It is this PC. I'll just go down over here and create a new folder. And within this new folder, I'll just say Python underscore placement. Okay, one thing, most of the freshers, they usually, I have created a new folder called Python placements. Okay, within this folder itself I'm going to be working. So the major mistake most of the students do here is while creating the folder they just put spaces. Okay, as you can see there are two words, one is Python, and they provide a space and give placements which create a mess later on. Now it's okay while creating the folder, but later on it is going to create a mess. So make sure when you are providing two words, either you give an underscore in between of it or a hyphen in between of it, or just use some camel casing. Okay, capital letter of the first character. Okay, so this is why we are going to use it over here as Python underscore placements, and the first file will be creating it now, and let's see how we can do that. So here I'll be just choosing VS Code, search VS Code and say a new window. Just wait for it until the new window is being displayed. This is how a blank new window might be displaying for you. And I think that most of the students do the mistake here itself. What they basically do is they just working with the new file and start working directly in this particular file folder itself. Okay, we need to understand, this is where you need to understand the things very clearly, because these are basic things, and if you just miss out these things, then will be very difficult for you to create the files inside a particular folder. So here, once I have opened a new window of VS Code, the first thing that I'll be doing is opening the folder which I have created, because I want to work on that particular folder itself. So I'll just say, you can just go to File, simply open folder. The folder I have created is inside this one. Search for the folder name, Python placements, and select folder. That's it. Here is what I have opened the file folder. Now simply, if you want to create a new file, or if you want to create a new folder within this project, you can just simply go for doing it in this way. For example, I want to create a new file called, here it is, the option, click on this. You can just simply click on this, and always remember that whenever you create a new folder, okay, this is how the industrial principles work. This is an industrial rule. So what we have to do when we have created a new folder, always give the first file name as index. Okay, so here it is, the index, and the extension that is .py. I'm not only talking about the Python files. Even if you're working with an HTML file, if you have created, even if you're working with Java, JavaScript, R, whichever programming language you go for taking it, if you have created a new folder, make sure you name the first file as index, whatever the extension. It might be .html, it might be .php, .java, whatever it takes. First, the file name should be index. So why we are going to take this file name as index? Suppose there is a file, suppose I just go down to my browser and simply type www.google.com, or simply let me just go for innovatum.com, and when I hit enter, you can see that the first page which has been appeared over here, you can see the first page which has been appeared over here is the name of this file. This file is index. That's why when the browser hits with this domain name, that is innovatum.com, the first file it searches is for index or home. Only two files. Okay, so we need to name the first file name as index, and that will be the file which we want to keep it as a home page for our domain name. Okay, so I'm just giving you the small basic things also over here, so that when we go move down in the later on sessions, then we must be having a clarity, like why we have created with this name itself and all. Now, okay, I just want to run and test the things, like how our first file execution will be done. So here it is, the first file. But before moving to that, let us go for talking about something very basic things about why I had to choose Python itself. You might have asked me this question, and many students have already asked me this question, like, sir, when we have so many other different programming languages, then what is the need of learning Python itself? So let me just clarify this thing, why Python. So I have, to be frank, to be honest, I am just trying to give you the honest answer on this. So why Python over other languages? Because first thing, it is the most easiest to read and write. Okay, this is the most easiest programming language to read and write because it is as simple as English itself. We don't have some clumsy syntaxes and all. Okay, like how we do have in Java and all. If you see, if I also have to write a simple hello world program in Java, then I have to remember the overall syntax. Like I have to say public, class, main, then I have to remember even public, static, void, main, string, then I have to type system.out.println. So many things I have to remember in just Java. If I talk about other programming languages apart from PHP, it is also a easiest programming language, but I give more preference to Python because it is more easier than PHP, because in just one single line statement we can just go for displaying the output. So as I have given you the simple example related to Java, that I have to write so many things like public, class, main, public, static, void, main, system.out.println, so many braces opening and closing. Okay, but what Python says is simply just go for writing it print, which is print means we normally know this keyword called print. So now I'll just say hello world, and simply I just save it. This is how simple we can just go for writing the syntax of the Python programming. This is one thing. And second thing, the major important thing which I have chosen is it is the most demanded programming language for the jobs right now. It is the most demanding programming language right now. It is being used by Google. It is being used by Instagram. It is being used by Netflix, NASA, Dropbox, and I can keep on giving the examples. The companies who have used Python. Okay, so even it is the reason because I have done a survey on this. Now I'm not coming here simply and just teaching you the this language. So here it is, the top language posting jobs in LinkedIn is also on Python. Second, then it is used for the most buzzwords that we people are hearing, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, backend development, automation, even in finance. Then most of the things, this programming language is demanded. Now, the third thing, the major reason, one more major reason why I had to choose Python programming language was the career paths. The career paths that are available in this programming language, there are no other programming languages which are providing such paths. Okay, if you learn Python, see, I'm just trying to provide you the overall view in front of you, that if you learn the basics of Python, what all career paths you can choose. One is, you can go for making your career in web development. You can be a data scientist. You can go for making career in AI and ML, then go for automation. You can also go for cyber security. You can go for finance and analytics. So many things right now. The career paths are open like anything, and it is only because of this one programming language, that is Python. Okay, so no other languages gives you this range as a beginner. Okay, just remember this. And the major reason, apart from this, the final reason, I just want to be a bit more quicker. So it also has the largest community in the whole world. If you suppose, if you're working on Python programming language and you just stuck out somewhere, so what you do, you basically go for doing it, you Google it, or you just go for using it ChatGPT. ChatGPT is has been or any AI other tools, they have came now, but before, what people used to do, they used to rely on the community. The largest community in the whole world is for Python. Okay, millions of free tutorials are available, millions of YouTube videos are available, Stack Overflow answers are available, and one best thing, that is PyPy is PYPI, that is, it has more than 5 lakh free libraries. Someone has already solved your problem. Okay, so after this, and the one major reason, you can take it from my end because of my survey that I have seen so far, fastest to get a job with as a fresher. Okay, you can build a real project in Python within weeks. Okay, and interviewers love Python because your logic is clear and readable. Okay, and most of the DSA interview platforms like Lead Code, you can go for HackerRank, they defaultly use Python itself. Okay, so I just don't want to dive into other programming languages, why they are so conceptual and why the syntaxes are so heavy, not easy to work on and all. So simply I have just given you the simple concepts about Python, like why majorly it has been using over here. Okay. Okay. Suppose what happens in you might be getting this option in your career life. You want to learn, okay, you want to learn and you want to diversify into some other programming languages also. So what my suggestion here says is, first learn Python, first learn Python, get a job, then pick up any other language. In just 2 weeks itself, you can learn it, you can understand the syntax, you can understand each and everything of that particular programming language. It is quite easy. So I have already gone through this, and I know if you know one programming language better, then you can switch to n number of programming languages in just 1 or 2 weeks itself. Okay. Now we have set up everything. We have I have also given you a short thing like why we have chosen Python and why we are working on Python itself. Now let's move down to the concept where we want to start the basic things. Let's run our first Python programming code. So this is how in VS Code. The reason behind choosing VS Code was I could have chosen any other um, editor, but the reason behind this was because VS Code lets us work on the code as well as on the command prompt. This is the only major reason why I have switched to VS Code. So let us try to see how the things are going to work out. So here we have an option called terminal. We can just say new terminal. Okay, I have seen most of the students now, they do, even the freshers, even the students who are still in at the beginner level, what they basically do is they just go to the run option and they just run without debugging. This one, they simply do this. Okay, I just don't want to mention it over here. So they simply do this and they'll be getting an output over here. But this is totally a wrong way to run a programming language like Python, which has been mostly the overall things we are doing over here in a console type of applications. Okay, so the things that we want to learn is in a good way, a technical way, which is not going to be deprecated later on. Okay, so here it is. I have opened VS Code, VS Code over here, and within that I have opened a terminal. This terminal is basically going to help me to run the file. Okay, as you can see, so if you already know some concepts about the DOS commands, if you know the concepts of DOS commands, let me just make it something like this. If I just say ls, it means list. It will show the files and folders that are available. If you want to create something like a directory, I'll just say mkdir, and simply I can just say innovatum. Okay, you can just see the folder has been created. If I want to remove the folder, I'll just say innovatum. Oh, okay, let me just do something before moving to that. Okay, cd innovatum. It means change directory innovatum over here. If I want to get out of this directory, I just say simply cd space dot dot and hit enter. Now I am out of this directory. So these are the DOS commands. I've just glanced at to a basic thing so that you might not get confused when we'll be using it in our next sessions. Now, the things that we will be doing here is first let me one more DOS command, that is rm innovatum. It means remove. You can see the directory is been deleted from here. Now, let me just clear the terminal, and to run our first Python file, the simple command that we'll be using is python, the name, okay, and simply the name of the file, that is index.py, and hit enter. This is how simple we are going to work in our Python programming languages, and this is how we run a programming code of Python. This is quite simple. I have given it for you, and in the coming sessions, day by day, because we need to cover a lot more things, so I'll not dive into this like how we can run this in the browser and all. We'll just stop it over here so that we can make the other concepts more clearer for us. Okay, so now coming to the most basic parts, as you all know that Python is a programming language where we are going to work on different concepts on this. For example, we'll be talking about the variables, we'll be talking about the data types, we'll be talking about the numbers. What are all these things we will be working on this? Okay. Every programming language has variables in it. Okay. What are variables? You might have understood this in while working with different programming languages, as well as you when you were working with Python itself. But I just want to give you a glimpse of it, like how actually variables are going to work and what are they, how they are going to be looking in our programming code, and how we are going to write it, and each and everything. Okay, so basically what we call as variables are containers. If you have seen a container, I'm talking about the ship containers. If you have watched it in the movies, or if you have been ever on the port side or the seaside, you might have seen the containers, or in any video, the ships which are carrying the containers. If you see, containers are simply like a box. Containers are simply like a box. You can add anything inside that container. You can add anything inside that box. So this is what the container does over here. So what container here is a box which can hold anything inside it. Okay, and in terms of working with the in a programming language, if I talk about it, so variables are containers for storing data values. And what are those data values? It can be numbers, it can be strings, it can be Boolean numbers. We'll see that later on, what are data types and all. So here it is. So Python has no command for declaring a variable. Remember this. So if you just if I just go for comparing it with the different programming languages, then we might see that in C, C++, even in Java, if I want to assign or mention a variable, then I have to declare its variable first. Something like if I'm working on C, then I have to say int a equal to 10. Okay, but what Python says here is, okay, just let me Okay, what Python says here is do not need of this integer. Do not define that you need to say that we are writing a number, we are writing a string, nothing. It automatically detects what kind of a data type it is using. So in Python, simply I'll just say 10. That's it. If you want to add a semicolon, add it or leave it. It is none of concern for the Python. Okay, so simply you can just go for writing it in this way for a variable. So this is one way, like we can write the variables in this format without defining the data type earlier, how we do it in the different programming languages. Okay, so this is int of a that I have used, and this is uh, b equals to, for example, if I'm trying to use a string here is nothing but variable, I mean a set of characters like the letters and all. Even if it is small letter or capital letter, we can go for using it. So make sure this one the double inverted comma is not in concern, but you can just use it whenever you're trying to use a string in it. Okay, for example, if I just type innovatum, you can just see I have written it in double inverted comma. If I just want to print this out, I just want to print this, print of b. Now see, okay, sorry, I think I haven't saved it. Control S. Now let's run this back again. Innovatum. So here, what I want to show you is this double inverted comma is not of a concern. I can also use it for single inverted comma also. Just save it and run it back again. You can just see here Python index.py innovatum is executing. So likewise, where variables do not need to be declared with any particular type and can be changeable even if we type it later on or after some time also. Okay, so we need to also understand one thing over here, that is variables we have used, that is numbers, we have used string. Now if we can also go for using a float type of a number. Okay, then we can also use an integer for boolean, sorry, we can use an integer, a boolean value, which can be a true or a false. Save it. Okay, so suppose uh, as suppose I'm trying to work on this and trying to create a console kind of an application over here. For example, suppose I give age equals to, and I want to give this as an input and say enter your name. Okay, sorry, just want to mention a name over here. Enter your name, and when, okay, let me just take age itself because I want to convert this. Enter your age. So as you can see that with this simple example, I am trying to print the age of the user in the console where the user is going to enter the age. Okay, so here it is, simply the print option, and I'll just say age plus 1. Save it. Now just check this out. If I try to run, we might throw an errors. For example, if I just give my age, you can just see here the error that we are saying is, it is saying me an type error. So this is what we are going to invert into one more topic, that is typecasting. What this typecasting does here is, it will allow the concatenation of a string with a number. So this error, basically what it is doing, it is going to help us to concatenate a age, okay, that is age, with the particular number. So what is this age? It is enter your age over here. Okay, this is a string and we are trying to concatenate means we are trying to mix it up with the particular one, that is the value. So what I basically do here is one simple thing where I'll do the typecasting. Typecasting here means I'll try to convert it to the integer first. Okay, so what I'll be adding here, the typecasting here will be within the bracket, and I'll say int. So what I have done, simply I have, because we were getting an error that we cannot concatenate a string to an integer, I have just simply changed the type of it. I have just changed the type of it, and now let's see whether this works for us or not. Let me just enter it. Now you can just see here. Enter your age. Now both of them are mixed up. So this is called the typecasting. This is one of the most common beginner mistake which you people do in the interviews. Okay, so even if they ask how you can concatenate two, one string and a number, you can just answer them in this way, because most of the questions will be asked in this particular way. Okay, you can just go for trying to add some user input, and along with that you can go for typing the name and everything, whatever you can just go through that. You can just try to understand that thing. Now the major questions that an interviewer is going to be asking will be related to the concepts of conditions. What are these conditions? How you are going to handle these conditions? So I just want to, go through a particular concept where the conditions are being handled properly. Like, for example, if I just take an example of marks equal to, I'll just typecast it with an input value of saying enter your marks. Okay, and if you just want to mention any different thing, it depends on you, whatever it takes to add new things over here. Now, so here the next thing that I want to add here is a condition. So if I'm trying to add a condition over here, then I have to understand the arithmetical operators, the overall operators, like whether it is a less than mark, greater than mark. Simply a normal human being can, because we understand the concept of mathematics. So that's why I'm just directly moving down into this concept of conditions. Okay, so suppose this is an if statement. If, okay, what actually happens over here is we are using conditions. What conditions do? If the condition is satisfied, then it will print us an output, or it will give us a solution. If the condition fails, it will give us a different solution. Okay, so this is what actually I'm trying to do over here. So suppose the marks of the students is greater than or equals to 90. Okay, if it is greater than 90, I have taken down one condition over here, and just remember this: if marks, okay, greater than 90, then I have given a colon over here. If you see, this colon means wherever you find a colon and hit enter, VS Code automatically takes some spacing. If you see, some spacing is being taken. This is used in classes, this is used in functions. Wherever there was a necessity of adding flower braces, they have added this concept of indentation. Remember this, we won't be providing any sort of flower braces over here like any other programming language. What we simply do here is we just go for directly taking this into a spacing format. Okay, what kind of spacing you can give? You can give 1 2 spacing, 3 4. Either you can give 2 spaces or 4 spaces. Both the concepts are okay. Okay, so I'll be just printing down the values. If the marks are greater than 90, then it should say grade A. That is, you can just put excellent or any sort of message to the particular student. Okay, what if this condition is failed? What if some student who has not been scoring 90 above 90, then what it should be done? So I'll be taking an L if else if. It basically means if this condition fails, then go for using this else is if statement. If marks greater than 75, let's put down a print statement saying that print, then this is grade B, just good one. Okay, just good. Okay, I have provided this condition now for the students who have scored the marks of 75, greater than 75. Then we have elif, again marks greater than 60. Okay, sorry for this. Okay, here we have elif, the student marks who have scored greater than 60. Then we must add a printing statement. I'll just copy this to save our time. Copy this, paste it over here, and we just say this as grade C, and we can just say it as average. So here it is, average. Again, I'll just take the same condition over here. I have just copied it, pasted this one, and this time if the marks are greater than 40, then it must say just pass. Okay, I have given the condition. If all these conditions are going to fail, if all these conditions are going to fail, then what it should happen is finally an else statement saying that go for printing this final message which says let me just add something exciting. Okay, failed, don't give up. I'll just say try again. Here it is. So I have mentioned this conditions. So what is this conditions are going to be asked even in the interviews? When the conditions are being asked, you need to make them understand in a more clear way. So what we have done here is we have taken marks, we have just converted into an integer so that whenever the marks is being asked, so the user can answer it. Next is we have taken a if statement. If condition is used if the condition or the operator means whether it's greater than, less than, equal to, these operators are conditionally satisfied, then what it should do, if the user enters above 90, then it should print the grade A. If it is 75, grade B, C, D. If all these conditions fail, Suppose the user has marks less than 30 or less than 20, then directly this else statement will be executed. Okay, so I'll just exit it from here, make a clear statement. Now run the condition back again, python index dot py, and let me just say 90. Okay, let me just say some 95. You can say grade A. So this condition is satisfied when the user has entered the marks in the console. Second, let me just go for checking out with the 80. You can see grade B. If it is above 64, grade C. And if we run it back again, and if it is 45, the student D is passed. And if finally, if I just type something like 12 and hit enter, fail, don't give up. So you can see here, based on the conditions, how simply all the particular examples has been executed. Okay, so this is about the conditions that we are going to use. Okay, so the real interview classic question that comes is, I mean, in the particular placement time or at the time of your interview or somewhere, you can just go for answering it in this particular way. Suppose you can just, if they ask you to write a number, okay, whether it's positive or negative, what you can just do is simply create a condition with the if statement and say if the number is 0, I'm just showing it here itself. If the number is 0, then print this as a positive number, because I have seen most of the questions have been asked at the for the conditions. Then if the marks is less than, this was one condition. If the marks is less than, sorry, if it is less than 0, then it is negative. Okay, sorry, I have to add this positive over here, positive, and I don't need these two for simply for now. So here it is. Then if both the conditions fail, then the number is 0 itself. The number is 0 over here. Save it. Now run back, clear it again, run this, enter your marks. Okay, it means number, so I'll just give -10. You can just see negative number. If I run it back again, some 80 positive. If I just give if I just run this index and get 0, it means the number is 0. So this way is how we are going to take the conditions, and most of the questions are being asked in the interview from here itself. Okay, now let's move down to the other things, like the other things of the concept, basic concepts. Now let's move down to the loops. So if most of the concepts are working on the conditions and all, so we are going to work with the two primitive looping commands, while and for. So with the while loop, what we can do, with the for loop, what we can do is we need to decide it. Okay, we need to understand it, then only we can go for working with the quality of it. Now first of all, let us try to understand a loop. Okay, after getting the conditions done, I'm working in a new file, but while watching the video, a time will be provided for you. You can just watch the video back again. I'll be sharing you this recording of this session, and you can just go for working with the video. At the time you're working, make sure you create a new file, because I don't want to waste the time on creating the files again and again and work on it. So simply I just want to make sure that the output is correct, so I'll be working on the same code itself. Okay, so I'm just simply removing this code from here. Okay, okay, we do have loops. Okay, and we have for loop. When just understand this single sentence, then your for loop will be completed. When you know how many times you want to loop it, when you know how many times you want to loop, then you can go for using it for loop. Okay, let me just show you. For example, if I have a for loop, I as a variable in range of just a minute. We have I in the range of, okay, I just want to provide a range over here. Then simply I just want to print it, print of I. So here the condition that I am trying to put down is this one simple thing, that is I know the number of loops. I know the number of loops, how many times it will loop for us. Okay, so if I just simply run this, okay, sorry, just forward to save it. Okay, control C this. You can just, if you want to come out of it, you can just type control C, clear this one, and now try to run this one. Okay, now you can see here I've just taken a normal range, and I want the condition should be fulfilled for a particular amount of number or a particular amount of value which we have provided. Okay, you can see the range from 1 to 11. You can see starting from 1, ending at 10, but not proceeding it above 11. Okay, this is what the for loop does. Now if I just mention this 21 and save it, you might find some range of 20. You can just see here range of 20. So if we know the amount of loops that we want to create, then simply we can go for using for loop. And if you try to find out the definition in the internet or in your notebooks and in your textbooks and all, you might find a different definition over here. But what I am giving you here is the simple and industrial level concept for loop. Okay, even if, for example, if I have a name, I'm just trying to mention it over here. Let me just take that. If I do have a name equal to innovatum over here, then simply if I want to for loop this for I in range, but here I don't want to add any sort of a range, but the condition I want to put down here is simply the variable name itself, what the number of characters that are available in this one. So what I'll simply do here is I'll just remove this and add name. So this what I have in this what I have simply done is I have taken a variable called innovatum, and I want to know the number of loops that are available inside this variable name. Now simply if I just clear this one and add an index, you can just see every word is being looped. Okay, so here what I want to say for loop, if we know how many times the loop has to be done, then we'll be using for loop for it. Now the next thing is while loop. While loop is the same way of definition I want to provide. When you don't know how many times the loop has to be done, at that time we'll be using this while loop. Okay, simply if I just try to create a guessing kind of a game over here. So for example, suppose let me just take a secret number of some 42. Okay, and I want to know a guessing number, that is 0. Okay, what I'll do here is while guess, here the condition which I'm trying to provide is, okay, I just don't know, I think, okay, is not equal to, okay, let me just take this out, like how not equal to is been given in Python, because I'm just getting confused. How to write not equal to in Python. Okay, I'm just getting confused with the different okay, here it is, programming language, not equal to, the same thing. I think I just misspelled it one. Okay, here is my not equal to, the secret number that I want to provide over here. This number is going to either be a guess for me, along with the, see here how I'm simply putting down all the previous concepts we have covered up. Okay, so even for the typecasting one also, I'm just trying to use it again and again so that you people can understand it. Okay, so if you see, I just want to create an input for guessing the number. I'll just say guess the number over here from the user, and let me just put down it to into a guessed is less than secret. If it is secret, then put down to a level. Think I have misspelled the spelling, that's why it is showing me this way. Okay, so we have, if I'm trying to guess a secret number while printing this one, so I'll just try to print the guessing number too low. Okay, and finally I want an else if statement, elif, if the condition guess is wrong, guess secret, let me just check out, greater than secret, then simply print it's too high. Okay, so with this condition we can play a game for conditions. So see here, I have just mentioned it, and finally print, this will say as correct. Yes, finally. And I had just mentioned and removed the concepts over here, save it. See, this simply what I have tried and changed it into a common simple game itself, where we can play it clearly. Now, this is our correct guess. When I run this one, Python index dot number, so I just want to guess the number. Simply like I'll just give 20, too low. Okay, so let me just give 98. You can see too high. Guess the number, because the number is 0. So if I just give 0, okay, sorry, I think we have yeah, secret, it is too low. mm, Let me just guess it directly. 42. Can you see the number which we have guessed directly? Correct guess. So this way we can play the game. Okay, so along with this, we have a lot more things to cover up. In the next session, we'll be going and as we are left out with only 20 minutes of time, now we'll be moving down. This was the basic things, and in the upcoming session, in the upcoming Saturday's session, we'll be holding up with some more basic things where you can cover up a lot more things in that, like the functions, the oops concept, the break and continue concept. So we'll keep it for the next session. Now, as we were, as our title says, that we are working on Python and placement session. And finally, for the last 5 to 10 minutes, we'll be having a QA session also. And if you, in that, if you do have any questions to be asked, you can just go for asking that. Now, if you just see a lot more students nowadays, okay, a lot more students, what they basically do is, in the placement corner, if you see what things you have to do, first understand not every human being is meant for coding purpose. Not every human being is meant to work for in the tools like Power BI, Tableau. Not everyone is used for working with UI UX. Every human being has a different personality, and with that particular personality, you need to understand that what kind of a job is going to suit you, because you might be a fresher, you might be still learning, you might be still under reviewing system, or the best of the best question that every engineering student has: which domain, which programming language should I choose? Okay, if you are up in this particular stage, still, even if you have completed your engineering and you still don't know what you people have to do, is I think you people have not worked on your own conditions, and you haven't analyzed the things yet. Here, what I basically try to do here is to make you people work under certain conditions, and those conditions will be something like it should be displayed in a practical way. So the things here that we are going to do is, you need to create the first thing, take this as an assignment and make sure you do these three things before next Saturday. And if you want me to review, and if you're really serious about your career and all, then you would definitely share me those things. I'm not going, we never make things compulsion. The people who are interested to make their career seriously will do these three things. The first thing that you have to do is go to, before coming to the next session on the Saturday, first of all, go for creating your GitHub account today itself. Go for creating your GitHub account today itself. This is the first thing. Okay. This is your coding portfolio. Remember this. This GitHub is your coding portfolio. You don't have to, wander here and there. Take the basic steps, create the account, and here you will be adding the overall code, overall workspace that you have done so many years ago, or you are still doing it. Okay, whatever code you have done. If you have written a program, if you have written Okay, and if you still have, okay, apart from this, if you still have many more doubts about the, I mean, uh, in our session for today, I'll just show you. You can just go to Innovatum and you can just browse it. You'll find out that this session is available over here in programming and section. And if you click on discussion, you can just see, you can just add the query here, or post the comment directly here, or even in the WhatsApp chat also you can text us if you are working and if you get some issue and all. Okay, or you can just text directly on the WhatsApp chat. You can discuss here directly on the post or in the WhatsApp chat. Both the things are available. Okay. Okay, so this is where you need to do the first thing which I have mentioned. Do it today itself. Take this thing seriously. And what we have felt since so many days back. Okay, we have been training to the so many students and all. What they basically do is they think that every time we give a start, it's too late. Every time we give a start, it's too late. So never think that. Remove that negativity from your mind. Give a start to your career from today itself. Even if you are a student, you are a fresher, or already you are been working somewhere, or you have been looking out for jobs and all. So this is first condition. Create a GitHub account today. Okay, and second thing, update your LinkedIn headline. Okay, second thing that you have to do is go for updating your LinkedIn account headline from many of students I have seen. They are writing computer science student, okay, or something like they just go for adding something like a student at so and so college. Okay, first of all, go for changing that one. Add something like aspiring software developer. If you're willing to work in the software industry, first of all change that headline and add it as aspiring software developer. And if you're a student, you can just give a hyphen and say learning Python. Aspiring software developer colon learning Python. Or these are the basic keywords where the interviewers and the recruiters are going to search for. Okay, so after this is the first thing. First thing was, before coming to the next Saturday, create a GitHub account, update your LinkedIn headline from student at so and so college and any other thing to aspiring software developer or aspiring data analyst, so and so. Okay, whatever I mentioned. Secondly, thirdly, practice at least these 3 to 4 problems which I have shown today. Okay, so if you want to take some assessment from my end, go for practicing it from your own itself. Okay, many students have this question also. They just want to learn the coding from the day one. When they join a course, when they join any internship or anything, they just want to learn the code from the day one. This is never going to happen, because understanding the coding, understanding the syntaxes requires some amount of consistent time you have been working with that particular domain or technology. You cannot directly come and say that sir मुझे 2 दिन में सीखना है. I want to learn it in 1 or 2 days. It is not possible. It requires consistency of at least a practice of working with that particular syntax with 1 to 2 months. This is what I suggest. Keep on practicing whatever you learn, whatever you see, keep on practicing it on daily basis. Remove the particular time of at least 2 hours for learning. Until and unless if you're expecting to learn the syntaxes in the from the day one, it's highly impossible. Okay, so keep on practicing. It will be happening to you. Even you will not come to know when you became perfect in that syntaxes or technology. Okay, so never leave that. And the second thing, the third thing which I wanted to share is practice three problems on your own. Try to create a situation. What kind of things, for example, if I want to give you printing multiplication table of any number, okay, that is how simple I want to go. Check if a number is even or odd, and print all the even numbers from 1 to 50. I'm just giving you example. You can put the condition, you can take the logic and try to work on it. Okay, so this is the part one. Okay, this is the honest truth that I'm just showcasing you in the placement corner. And one more to be saying you the honest truth about the placements now. Most of the students, they fail placements not because they don't know coding, okay, but because they don't know the process. Today, whatever you are seeing, I mean the coding and I mean the coding is just the part of that placement process. It is not the overall process. But what does most students do? They just focus on that particular one part. That is, they should know coding, they should know the tool. That is only a part of the process, but you need to understand the how the overall process goes on. Okay, so the placement journey might be looking like this. Like you can just go for applying, you can create your resume, you can apply it, you can give a written test, you can give a technical round, you can give a DSA round, you can give a HR round, and then you will be getting an offer letter. Okay, so most of the students only prepare, they go for preparing only for the middle part and forget everything about the other rounds and all that are available. So here, just remember, it is a process. Do these three things and take this as an assessment. And if you still have any doubts, we have been open for 8 more minutes. We have 8 more minutes left. So if you do have any questions, please you can just open it up, open up your mic and you can speak up, or else you can just type it in the chat box. Yes, if you do have any questions, you can just go for it. And I want to mention it again, this is not a regular session. You are attending an industrial workshop or a course. So make sure you be frank to yourself, ask the questions. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions to be clear, you can open up the mic and speak up, or you can just put it in the chat box. So I have just given you a glimpse about the basic things. From the next Saturday, we'll be moving down to some most advanced level. So we'll be moving down to some of the most advanced level of the sessions. So I want also the reviews from you people. You can just go to Innovatum, the same platform, the same page, and put down your reviews. How did you felt? Okay, and if you want to put some comments about how the session was, you can just join the discussion over here. Okay, yes, dear students, do we have any questions?
Yeah, no questions actually. Yeah, it's clear. Concept is clear. Yeah, great to learning it again. Okay.
Sure, Mahin.
Learning from. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the session.
Thank you. Okay, we have a
Okay, we have
question.
a question.
Sir, for basic Python, we have to solve questions from every topic. It is not necessary, but at least you should know the concept. If you know the concept, there is no requirement of, solving each and every problem. But just for understanding the problem, you have to work on that concept. That's it. Yes, Pranjali, you wanted to ask me
You
the
wanted to
question?
ask the question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sure.
Yes, sure.
Sir, I have a 1 year experience in front-end development.
Mm-hmm.
What type of interview questions they will ask in next companies that
Okay,
Okay,
when I'm
which
switching to the new
which
company?
which domain
okay,
you
which
have been
domain
working
you
on?
have been working on?
Sorry.
Which domain for
Which
front end?
domain
Which
for
domain you
front
have
end? Which
choose?
domain you have choose?
So next and React.
Okay, you are
Okay,
working with
you're
next and
working with next and
React.
Yes, next and React. Yeah.
Can you just mute?
Can you just mute?
Okay,
Okay.
just a minute. Uh, Pranjali, right?
Yes, sir.
You are having an
You
Yes.
are
experience
having
of
an
1 year.
experience.
Yeah.
Can you just mute it? Yeah. Okay, Pranjali. Uh, there are different types of companies. Basically, they are not going to directly go for asking you some basic questions and all. So the major question, those can be asked will be depending on the experience that you have gained in the 1 year. For example, suppose you have worked on a project. So depending on that project itself, the questions will be asked from the interviewer. So what he basically wants to know from you is not those basic concepts anymore, because now you are having an experience of 1 year. So he will be basically focusing on the projects you have worked on and what roles you have done in the particular project. Suppose, for example, think that you have been working on a project for e-commerce, and suppose you have built some homepage and you have built some about us page, contact us page. So he want to know how the APIs were being connected from end to end point, and how the things were being added from that particular home page to the backend. So this kind of a conditions will be asked. He'll be basically focusing on the project itself, and you need to make him, showcase the overall thing. What you have been working in the overall technology, how the APIs were being connected, how the backend was being connected, how the things you have been rolled out in the particular area that was provided to you. So the overall mentioning will be about your project and the 1 year experience you have mentioned. So what basically most of the students do is they just go for providing an experience of 1 year, and they do some internship and they do some basic home. But that is not the interviewer is asking for. He wants the actual thing, how you cooked that project. Okay. So these questions are the only thing which were been the which will be asked for the experienced person. Yes, I hope so that I have cleared the doubt for you, Pranjali.
For you, Anjali.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, if anyone else, if you have any more questions, then we'll just give 2 more minutes and we'll be winding up the session. Yes, we have Veena, Purnima, Sharika, Sanjana. Nagaveni, Bhavna, yeah, Halima Sadia.
Hello.
Yes, who's
Yeah,
this?
hello, sir. My name
Yes,
is Abid.
yes, Abid.
Yes, sir. So basically, I'm an architect.
Okay,
I've been working in for last 4 years as an architect. So, but I always had this interest in coding and cybersecurity, etc. So,
okay,
like realistically, how easy will it be, or what are the steps I can take to transition into this field?
okay. Simply, this is the where now most of the people are thinking to move their careers into, like, not only Muhammad Abid, not only I'm talking about you, most of the students, those are even from the different branches, not only from mechanical, civil, even some of them are working in different private sectors, even in the sales, marketing, everyone wants to shift down to this particular domain, because now, because of the concepts of AI and the AI tools which are being used, so most of them are trying to switch from there to here. And it is simply that, if you nowadays, if you are just trying to understand the process, that much is enough, because the AI tools and the processes will, everything will be handled by the AI and ML tools which have been made. So you don't know, you don't have to be understanding the overall coding part, you don't have to be understanding the overall conceptual part, but if you know the process, how to build the application, how to create the structure, how you can just create the application for the particular problem that you are trying to solve, that much is enough. Now, with the help of the vibe coding, with the help of the AI tools nowadays, everyone is creating the application. You just need to know the process, that's it. Like how the particular programming language, for example, as I have shown you the process itself, the first way, like how the Python programming is being installed, how to run the program, how to set up the environment, that much is enough. And if you know this, and if you understand the basic concepts like loops, functions, oops, that much is also enough. And if you know how to create the application, that much is also enough. So I have just given you three different things. One is understanding the environment and the procedure, understanding how to set up it in your system, and how you can create the application. If you know the process and this all things, an AI tool can do it for you. But sometimes AI tools can uh, you know struggle for even understanding these simple things, and where we require an human intervention for doing all those things. So this process is enough for you to move down from being an architect to this sector. I hope I have answered the question for you, Mohammad Abid.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Okay, I hope so. If you still do have any questions to be answered, you can just open it up in the discussion or in the WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you. Thank each and every one of you for attending the session. Thank you and have a great day ahead. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
ತರ್ಸ್ಲೇದ್ನ ಅಮ್ಮಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಊರಿನ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡಲ್ದ
कितने थे सर बच्चे? 14 होते तो